Good evening, everyone. Mr. Cheney, Mr. DeHaven, members of the faculty, advisors, parents, and students, and all of you who are joining us remotely this evening. Welcome to the Kents Hill School chapter of the National Honor Society's 2021 induction ceremony. Because the pandemic prevented us from honoring the students selected for the National Honor Society last year and has curtailed our opportunities to hold a larger ceremony for all of you this spring, we're gathered here tonight to formally recognize as best as we can in this crazy year both the seniors in the front row and the juniors behind them who were chosen by our committee to be inducted into the Kents Hill National Honor Society chapter. For any National Honor Society members who are among us in the audience tonight or online, all of us hope that this ceremony will serve to remind you of the standards of excellence that you too are charged with maintaining as members of the nation's oldest, largest, and most prestigious student recognition program. Bear with me for a little bit of history before we proceed. The National Honor Society is a national organization recognizing individual student academic achievement. Founded in 1921 by Edward Reinerson, by 1930 the NHS had grown into roughly 1,000 chapters. Currently, more than 1 million students participate in NHS and National Junior Honor Society chapters around the United States, and other NHS chapters are located in Puerto Rico, Canada, and Asia. Since 1946, the NHS has awarded more than $17 million in scholarship grants. Notable non-Kents Hill School members, NHS members, include Michelle Obama, Tina Fey, Meryl Streep, Jon Stewart, Mr. Rogers, and Jerome Bettis. So the Kents Hill chapter is proud to have been inducting new members for many, many years, and tonight's ceremony reflects the continuing emphasis on excellence that the National Honor Society represents for Kents Hill. Members of our chapter serve as role models for other students, and in addition to the strong academic records which establish their eligibility for membership, our chapter members are leaders in many student organizations, and in a normal year, they would have served our school and our community through many volunteer opportunities. Unfortunately, this is not a normal year, and opportunities for service have been limited by so many COVID restrictions. Nevertheless, we are very proud of their accomplishments and welcome the energy these new members bring in support of our work as a National Honor Society chapter. Hopefully, those of you in the class of 2022 inducted tonight will have new opportunities to expand the role of the National Honor Society in the Kents Hill community, both on and off campus, when you return to school next year. So at this time, it's my pleasure on behalf of the school and the faculty to proclaim to everyone in attendance that membership in the Kents Hill School chapter of the National Honor Society has been earned by these candidates through the effective demonstration of the 4 qualities that serve as standards for the society. Members of our faculty will now review the qualities with the candidates, and we'll begin with scholarship and Mr. Hodgen.
Scholarship denotes a commitment to learning. A student is willing to spend hours in reading and study, knowing the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. We should continue to learn even when formal education has ended, for human education ends only with the end of life. Knowledge is one great element in life which leads to the highest success, and it can be acquired in only one way, through diligence and effort. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past, the torch guiding us to understand the present, and the light that illuminates the future. Candidates have the charge to continually expand their world through the opportunities inherent in scholarship.
And now Mr. Munson will join us to explain service.
My office is service. Service can be established in the routine of the day's work, where many opportunities arise to help others both at school and in the community. A willingness to work for the benefit of those in need without monetary compensation or public recognition is the quality we seek in our membership and promote for the entire student body. We are committed to volunteering our time and talents to the creation of a better tomorrow. For as Mahatma Gandhi said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others.
Thank you, Mr. Munson. And now Ms. Pickett will talk to us about leadership.
Leadership should exert a wholesome influence on the school. In taking initiative in the classroom and in school activities, the real leader strives to train and aid others to reach their common goals of success. The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interests for the interest of others. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in a school, community, or a nation, they are ineffectual without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed. Thus, to lead is a meaningful and substantive charge to each of our members. As stated so eloquently by Maya Angelou, a leader sees greatness in other people. He nor she can be much of a leader if all she sees is herself.
Thank you, Ms. Pickett. And now Ms. Chute will talk to us about character, and then she has graciously agreed to stay at the podium for the next part of our presentation this evening because Ms. Nanoff was not able to be with us this evening. So, thank you, Ms. Chute.
Character is the force within the individual that distinguishes each person from others. It creates for each of us our individuality, our goodness. It is that without which no one can respect oneself, nor hope to attain the respect of others. It is this force of character that guides one through life and, once developed, grows steadily within. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of constant thought and action, the daily striving to make the right choice. The problem of character is the problem of self-control. We must be in reality what we wish to appear to others, to be rather than to seem. By demonstrating such qualities as respect, responsibility, trustworthiness, fairness, caring, and citizenship, we may hope to prove by example that we value character. I would like to ask that the inductees please rise and raise your right hand and repeat the NHS pledge, which you will find on the back of your program. I pledge to uphold, and we'll say it together, the high purposes of the National Honor Society, to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands and will maintain and encourage the high standards of scholarship, leadership, service, and character. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you, Ms. Chute. All right, so now, as I call your names, and we'll start with the class of 2021, please come forward, and Mr. Cheney will help me by handing you your certificate and a lovely National Honor Society pin that I hope you will wear in good health for a long time. So for the class of 2021, Paige Caulfield. And Adit Desai. And Danielle Eid. And then we would call Delaney Feeney, although she's not here with us this evening. So Delaney, if you're watching, congratulations. And Emily Feeney. And then Thomas Folsom. And then Alexis Gadsden. Uh-oh, did I mess you up? Sorry, Alexis. Let me check.
Definitely not Travis.
No.
Definitely not me, Jerry.
Well, no ceremony goes unhitched. Yours will be delivered beautifully. Sorry about that. And then joining us remotely, I hope, Yinjing Gao. So congratulations. And also remote, Teng Zhao Li. And here with us this evening, Travis Oliwok. Did I do it right, Travis? I tried. And then unfortunately, Josie Palmer is also not with us this evening, but Josie, congratulations. And then we have Melanie Volpe. And also in the class of 2021, Jiazhang Wen, also remote this year. So congratulations, Oscar. And now for the class of 2022, we have Naomi Balon. And Alana Batchelder. And joining us remotely, Renee Haggerty. Congratulations, Renee. But here with us, Aaron Jones. And Lauren McCulloch. And Jackson Melendi. And Amita Nanda. Next we have Charlotte Precourt. And last but certainly not least, Matthew Welton. Congratulations to all of you, and I apologize for any name that I mispronounced. And to Alexis, whose certificate will be delivered, special delivery tomorrow, I promise. And now I'd like to ask all of you to join me in welcoming tonight's guest of honor, Mr. Jeff DeHaven, who has some words to share with all of us.
Thank you. I love the applause. Thank you. Anybody here ever hear of John Wooden? John Wooden? All right, Coach in the back, maybe a couple of the oldsters up front. Anyway, for the uninitiated, I'll fill you in a little bit. John Wooden was a student, a teacher, a basketball player, and a coach. And he would also tell you, more importantly, as evidenced by the fact that he once said, the most important things in the world are family and love. He was a son, a brother, a husband, and a father. He became famous because he was a coach of the UCLA men's basketball team. And when he was coach, his teams won 10 national championships in a 12-year period, including 7 in a row. Incidentally, he was coach at UCLA for almost 20 years before he won his first national championship. When asked about it, he said, "Well, I'm a slow learner, but when I learn something, I get it down pretty well." That was funny. I've read books by and about him, and he's always been kind of a hero to me because our philosophies are similar. He believed that teaching is coaching and that coaching is teaching. He also believed, as do I, that to help a young person develop their character is the most important thing that any teacher or coach can do. Early in his career, Wooden taught English and coached several sports at Central High School in Indiana. As a teacher, he taught his students that success was about more than grades. As a coach, Wooden taught his players that a victory was about more than the numbers on the scoreboard. He cared deeply for his student athletes, and he led and encouraged them to be winners in and out of the classroom and on and off the court. Wooden would have loved the National Honor Society because of its 4 pillars: scholarship, service, leadership, and character. He believed wholeheartedly that what you are as a person is far more important than what you are as a student or a basketball player. I agree with him. During my tenure as a teacher, coach, and administrator, I've always been concerned more with character than with scholarship. That's why I love being a coach so much, because it's the best place to teach character. When you're in high school, the subject matter is important, but learning to learn is what it's really about. That is, if you can ingest some knowledge and figure out how to apply that knowledge to real-life situations, you're going to be a great scholar. When you're in college, if you can find out what really interests you and follow that interest into something that you love, you're going to be successful. However, doing well in school really only counts in your first job. That is, if you get great grades, anyone who's going to hire you is going to take that into account. But after that first job, you'll be judged on the work that you've done. The great thing for all of you, of all of today's inductees, is that you've already figured that out. Your scholarship is what made it possible for you to be considered for National Honor Society. But that's not what got you in. Everyone in the school who has a high GPA gets nominated. You got into the National Honor Society because of your leadership, your service, and your character. When I listened to Wooden talk about scholarship, I realized that it was important, but it's not the be-all and end-all. He said that if you want to learn, it's what you learn after you know it all that counts. And he also said, if I'm through learning, I'm through. Every single one of the students being inducted tonight is a top scholar. You all understand that if you're not learning, you're through. More important than scholarship is service. Regarding service, Wooden had lots to say. For example, he said, happiness begins where selfishness ends. He also said, as humans, our greatest joy definitely comes from doing something for another, especially when we do it with no thought of anything in return. And how about this one? You can't live a perfect day without doing something for someone who will never be able to repay you. And finally, a great piece of advice: seek opportunities to show you care. The smallest gestures often make the biggest difference. I'm just going to digress for a minute. I read an article this morning about Shaquille O'Neal, who's a famous basketball player from another decade, and he was in a Zales jewelry store yesterday, and there was a kid in there, a young guy, buying a ring, an engagement ring for his girlfriend. And the guy was trying to set up a payment plan. And O'Neal said, don't do that. I'm just going to pay for it. And the kid was like, no, you can't do that. He said, trust me, I can afford it. I'm going to do it. So he paid it off. And I just thought it was a really nice thing. And then later this afternoon, I read another article. He does it all the time. Last week, he was in a furniture store with his wife buying a new couch. And there was a woman in there with her autistic son, and they were buying a new living room set. And he said, he went up to the counter and he said, I'm just going to buy that for you. And we all can't provide service to people by buying stuff for them. It's not going to work out for us, but we can all be kind to one another. Anyway, You've already begun to understand the importance of service, and that is one of the main reasons you've been selected for the National Honor Society. The last two pillars are the most important. When it comes to leadership, Wooden said, "I think that in any group activity, whether it be business, school, sports, or family, there has to be leadership or it won't be successful." It's absolutely true. In the last few years, you have taken leadership roles as captains of your teams, officers in your classes, and proctors in your dorms because you understand that there has to be leadership. Finally, according to Wooden, character is the most important attribute that a person can attain, and he had plenty to say about that too. For example, he said, "You can do more good by being good than any other way. And ability can get you to the top, but it takes character to stay there." He also said, "Things turn out best for those who make the best of the way things turn out." And most importantly, be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think you are. He's a smart guy. The National Honor Society recognizes, in much the same way that Kent Hill School recognizes, that teaching character is the most important thing that a school can do. We as a school have always concentrated on teaching character through our 10 core values: altruism, compassion, courage, friendship, honesty, perseverance, responsibility, scholarship, sportsmanship, and tolerance. Our goal in teaching these values is to help you to be principled leaders, because we know that one person of principle can always make a difference. Therefore, we not only want to teach you to be leaders, we want to teach you to be leaders who have a strong set of core values. And looking at this group assembled here tonight, I know that you have taken our lessons to heart. However, as we have taught you, you have also taught us. Jerry, Danny, and Oscar have taught me about courage. They are among the bravest people I know. And if each of you thinks about it, you'll know why. On top of that, you are all on the way to being terrific scholars and being altruistic human beings. I've always thought of myself as being an honest person, but during the course of this year, TJ, Adit, Alana, and E have taught me what it means to be really honest. And they too are on their way to being terrific scholars and altruistic human beings. I've always had a keen interest in sportsmanship because neither winning nor losing with class is easy. But Alexis, Lauren, Delaney, and Jackson have shown us all how to do both. And they too are well on their way to being terrific scholars and altruistic human beings. Working hard, no matter what the obstacles, is a character trait that I've always admired. Travis, Renee, and Alex persevere in ways that completely astound me. And they are all on their way to being terrific scholars and altruistic human beings. Compassion and friendship, in my mind, have always gone hand in hand. Because if you're compassionate, you can put yourself in the shoes of other people, and if you can do that, you can be a great friend. Paige, Matt, Mel, and Josie are people we all want to be friends with because of their compassion. And they are all on their way to being terrific scholars and altruistic human beings. Responsibility is an attribute that does not come easily. As a teenager, there were times I was downright irresponsible. If I did something wrong, there were definitely times I blamed someone else. As an adult, I'm better at taking responsibility for my actions, but I'm not as good at it as Amita, Charlotte, Aaron, and Naomi. In the time that I've known them, they have always taken responsibility for their actions, and they are all on their way to being terrific scholars and altruistic human beings. So I say, congratulations. You have survived an arduous selection process and richly deserve to be lifelong members of the National Honor Society. Before closing, I just want to thank Ms. Burgle for asking me to speak tonight. It's been my honor and my pleasure to do so. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mr. DeHaven. I thought that was lovely. And I think the applause was much louder, but we couldn't hear them because they were watching online. But thank you so much. Mr. Cheney is up next, and he is going to give us some words and final thoughts.
It's okay, you can laugh. It's been a long time. So first, it has been a long time since we've been in person. And while we're not all in person, and it's unfortunate that we have some people who have to be remote, and the rest of the school can't be here, for me, tonight, being back at the podium and speaking to each of you and clicking my glasses, I couldn't think of a better group to do it with and for. So thank you. Thank you, DeHave. Awesome talk. Really, really inspiring and thoughtful, and I appreciate that. Thanks also to the rest of the NHS selection committee. Ms. Burgle tried to get me to bring my pin. That's like 35 years ago. My mother probably has it, but I'm not sure. But it is a lifelong honor, and I think each of you have earned it. So now you're making me laugh, Mel. First, to all those who couldn't be with us tonight, this is one of those moments where, and I don't have many of them, where I wish we had Zoom. So I could see each of you who were being honored tonight and inducted tonight, and I could see your face, and just smile behind my mask, and look you in the eye and congratulate you. So for all of you who are remote, congratulations. I look forward to seeing you in person again soon, and congratulating you in person. For all of you here tonight, again, thank you and congratulations. First, when I think about, and for both groups, when I think about values as DeHave shared with us, and I look around this room and I think about the names of the people who are remote, you all represent Kent Hill so well. Not just the values of the National Honor Society, which are so aligned with our values, but I can think of each of you and all that you have done to make not just, it's not about yourself, but it's about how each of you have made our community better and stronger through your scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Each of those things you each have brought to our community and made this community a better and stronger place. And I couldn't be more proud to be the head of school at a school that has such wonderful students and who represent us so well. I would also have just share another bit of gratitude. I think it's important to also thank your teachers, your advisors, your parents, your friends, because whatever we do, we don't do it alone. And for each of us, we have different people who have been our people, who have helped us to get through the tough times, who have helped to lift us up, who have helped to leverage our strengths, to remind us of the things we need to work on. And through each of that, you all have those family members, friends, teachers, coaches, advisors, dorm parents, who have been there for you and have helped shape you. And so I also want to congratulate all of them and thank all of them for all the work they've done with you to help you to represent Kent Hill School so well. Thank you. And again, congratulations. You represent us well, and I couldn't be more proud to be the head of Kent School and to honor each of you this evening. Thank you.
Sorry, it's me again. Thank you, Mr. Cheney. Before we leave tonight, I know you all have to get back to studying. I'd also like to thank our faculty volunteers and the people who helped us behind the scenes to make this ceremony and this broadcast possible. If I were a member of the Kensal Theater group, I would probably know that I would point out Mr. Bartholomew in the back, and then I would write, I'm looking for my theater people to tell me who I should be pointing, but in any case, thank you to Ms. Birtwell and to Ms. Emershai and Mr. Bartholomew and Ms. Barnes and Mr. Burke and Mr. Balberchek and the whole facilities team for helping to organize this year's induction ceremony. And thank you to all of you who joined us both in person and online in order to help us celebrate these amazing students. Let's join all one more time, even though we're a small group, but let's give them all one more round of applause and then say goodnight. That's it. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Great ceremony. Way to go.